Welcome back, everybody. It's the first face-to-face since the primary. It's going to be a very heated Senate debate, and Rand Paul and Jack Conway came face-to-face for the first time. Our Joe Arnold is downtown covering this event today. We want to go to him live now with the latest on how things went today, Joe.
Well, from the very beginning here, of course, these two candidates are no strangers to each other because during the primary season they did appear at some joint appearances that included all the candidates of both parties. This, though, as you mentioned, the first primary face-off between just the two men, Jack Conway and Rand Paul, the Democrat and the Republican, and both strained today before the County Judge Executives Association to try to identify and describe what the other candidates were all about, while still trying to hold on to their own same themes. But the gloves came off early between both Jack Conway and Rand Paul.
Jack's going to have to articulate, does he agree with President Obama about allowing the estate tax to come back? Does he agree with President Obama that we're going to raise the income tax rates again? Raising taxes in the middle of a recession is a disaster, and it could turn a recession into a depression. But he will have to distance himself from his president and his party if he wishes to have any chance in Kentucky. We'll see if he can do this and do this in a believable way.
Accountability is not going on national TV and saying that it's un-American to go after British Petroleum. Accountability is not having a worldview where you think that government basically should never touch business whatsoever. Accountability is not musing out loud that if you were Governor Fletcher, that you would just pardon yourself and all your aides. Accountability is not saying you favor term limits except when they apply to you.
And these two candidates had a very interesting audience today as well. As I mentioned, the county judge executives from all across all of Kentucky's 120 counties, and they certainly have their own budget crises in each one of those counties, and so they were very anxious to hear what each candidate had to say about government spending, federal help, as well as what kind of money, in Rand Paul's estimation, should just stay local in the first place and not be sent to Washington. Paul also talking about the debt crisis, demanding a balanced budget, term limits, and stricter lobbying limits on federal contractors. And Jack Conway calling for more of a jobs program to tackle high unemployment. He also called out to too much partisanship and said he agreed with Rand Paul when it comes to fiscal responsibility. But again, very early confrontation between both the Republican and Democrat, a preview of the next few months of the fall U.S. Senate campaign. We'll have far more at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight. Right now, live from downtown, Joe Arnold, WHAS 11 News.